Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Welcome to another HTML and CSS for beginners. And in this video I want to talk about CSS selectors. So that is a topic that is very important for you to understand, and it is something that you're going to come across very often in your programming career, and you should understand it. So make sure to watch the entire video because I do have some important tips and tricks to give you when it comes to this topic. But before we start, make sure to subscribe to my channel and also click the bell icon so that you are notified when I publish my next video. And also, if you want, you can follow me on my other social media platforms. The link for those is going to be in the description. So, as I already said, in this video I want to talk about different types of CSS selectors. But first I want to explain what is selector. So, selectors we usually use when we want to select or to find an HTML element that we want to style. So, for example, in this body section, I'm going to add a paragraph of text. So for that, I'm using p tag, and let's say that inside this paragraph, I'm going to write a message. This is a message. Like this. And let's copy this paragraph 3 or 4 times. So, okay, 4 times. That is going to be enough. And this element selector is the first one that I want to show you. And element selector is something that you have already seen on my channel. So how do you use element selector? Here in this head section, I'm going to add styles tag like this. And then in this style tag, I'm going to write the syntax of element selector. So you just write the name of your element, which is P in this particular situation. And then you open and close these curly brackets in which we are going to put the style for all P tags in this body. So here I want to write the style for my paragraphs. And let's save this for now. And I want to open this document first to see how it looks without these styles, which we are going to add later. So I'm going to close this, and then here is my HTML document, and let's open it. Let's say open with Google Chrome. Oh, I have opened it already. So here we have, this is a message, and that paragraph is written 4 times. Okay, so now if I open this document, we want to style that paragraph with a different style. So let's say that, for example, for this paragraph, we want to style font size like this. And let's say that the font size is going to be 20 pixels. Okay. And then let's say that we want to align this text to the center as well. So for that, we are going to use text align property, and we are going to say that the value is going to be center. So now when I save this and refresh it here, as you can see, this is a message has moved to the center and the font is larger as well. So that was the example of element selector. And another type of selector that I want to show you is going to be class selector. What is class selector and how we use class selector? For example, let's say that all of these P tags are not the same. So all of these messages are not the same. But let's say that this first one is going to be, this is, let's say, error message, like this. And then the second one is going to be a warning, like this. So this is a warning message. And then this third one is going to be info message, for example. And then this fourth one, let's say that is going to be error message as well. Okay, like this. So now we have written out different types of messages, and when I refresh this, you can see that they look pretty much the same. And what I want to accomplish is for these messages to look different, so according to their purpose, let's say. So we want this error message to have, for example, red background, and this warning message to have a yellow background, for example, and then info should have blue or green, I guess. And then error again should have red background. And how we are going to accomplish that? For that, I'm going to use something called class selector. So here I am going to write class like this. And then in these quotation marks, I'm going to say that this P element is going to have a class that is called error, like this. So here I have created a paragraph element which has class that is called error, and here you can put whatever name you want, except that you cannot use a number to start the name of a class. So I have called my class error, and now I'm going to create that class here, so the style for that class. And how we do that, you say dot, and then you put the name of your class, which is in my case error, and then you open these curly brackets, and inside these curly brackets we are going to put the style for this error class, so for the element that has this error class. And let's say that we want to style that element, so this paragraph here, we want to style it with background color, which is going to be, let's say, light coral. Okay, so we want this light red color to be background color of this element here, and we want to copy this class on this paragraph element as well, because this is error message as well. So here I'm going to paste it, and now after I have saved this, if I refresh, where is it? If I refresh my page, you can see that this is error message and this is error message as well is written here. And we should correct this to this is an error message. So I'm going to correct that very quickly. I'm going to say this is an error message, and then this is an error message as well. Okay, and then here this is an info message like this. So after I have styled my error messages, I want to style these other paragraphs as well. So here on this warning message, I'm going to say class, and then here I want to give it a class that is called warning, like this. And then here I want to create that class. I'm going to copy the name so that I don't make mistake. So warning class is going to have background color. Where is it? Background color. So this light golden yellow something is going to be background color of our warning message. So this is yellowish color. And then I'm going to give a class to this info message as well. So I'm going to say class, and I'm going to call that class info, like this. And I'm going to create info class here as well. So dot, and then the name of your class. And then in these curly brackets, you put the styles that you want your class to have. So here here I'm going to say that this info message is going to have background color of, let's say, light blue. So it is going to be this one here. So light blue color. And now after I have saved this, if I refresh it here, you can see that now our warning message has this yellowish background, and then our info message has this blue background. Okay, where is my document? So that was an example of a class selector. So you write the name of your class in this class attribute, and then here in your style tag or in your external CSS file, you put dot and then the name of your class, and then inside curly brackets you write the styles for that element, so for the element that has that class. And there is one thing that I want to show you, and that is going to be really the priority. So priority between this element selector and then this class selector. So for example, if I put here in this P style, if I say background color, so this property here, and I say that background color is going to be this lime color, so it is greenish color, and then I save this, what do you expect for our paragraphs to have? So which background color? This lime, or this light coral, light yellow, or light blue? So after I have saved this, and if I refresh it here, you can see that these stayed with their previous background color. So this one is red, this one is yellow, and then blue, and then red as well. And why is that the case? Because these classes, the styles that you write in your classes, have a higher priority than the styles that you write in your element selector. So this has a higher priority than this here. And whenever you write the styles for a certain property in your element selector and then you repeat that property in your class selector is going to have the priority over your element selector. So this here is going to be overridden by this here, or this here, or this here, depending on which p tag we are talking about. And then there is another type of selector that I want to talk about, and that is going to be really ID selector. So what is ID selector? Well, let's say, for example, that this paragraph here is not just a simple message, but it is a critical error message. So this is a critical error message. For example, let's say that we want to have a critical error message as well, and we want to style that paragraph as an error, so with this class that is this one here, so this error class, but we want to give it a specific style, so which is going to be unique for this element only. And for that we are going to use ID, so we are going to say ID like this, and here I want to specify the name of this element, and let's say that that name is going to be critical like this. And this ID selector is really something that is used only once in your web page, so only one element should have this ID, which is called critical. You can give other IDs to your other elements, but this one should only be present on one element, so it is going to be this one here. And after I have created this ID, which is called critical, I'm going to style it here. And how do you style your ID selector? You say hashtag, and then you put the name of your selector, which is this one here, like this. And then in these curly brackets, I'm going to write the styles for this element here. So for this element that has the ID of critical. And let's say that I want to style this element so that it has higher font. So I'm going to say font size, and I want it to have font of 30 pixels. Pixels like this. And then let's say as well that I want it to have color of text which is going to be white. So I'm going to say color like this, and then I want to give it a value of white. So now if I save this and then refresh my page here, you can see that now it has this error class, and it is styled at center. It has background color which is red, and then it has this this font size of 20 pixels like the others, and then it as well has this color of font which is black. And now after I refresh it, you can see that now it has gotten this higher, so this larger font, and then this color of text which is white. Okay, so that we have done using this ID selector. And how do you use this ID selector? You say the name of your element, so the ID of your element, you put that using your ID attribute, and then in your styles you specify this hashtag and then put the name of your ID, and then in these curly brackets you put the styles that you want to really style your element with. And in this particular case it is this paragraph element here. And there is one very important thing when it comes to the priority of this ID selector, because this ID selector is more specific than the previous ones that we have mentioned. That means that it has the highest priority. So it has higher priority than this element selector, and it has higher priority than this class selector as well. So these ones. That means that, for example, here, if I specify background color, so I'm going to copy this here, and if I specify different background color than the one that we have specified here, this element is going to have whatever we have specified in our ID selector style. So here I'm going to say, for example, red, like this, and now if I save this, this should override this style here, even though our paragraph element has both this class error and then this ID critical. So after I have saved it, if I come here and refresh it, you can see that our critical error paragraph now has this really red background color that we have specified in our ID selector. Oh, Okay. Where is it? So here is our code. So let's repeat one more time. We have talked about three types of selectors. The first one was element selector, and then class selector, and then the third one was ID selector. And we have said that lowest priority has this element selector, so this one here. After that, priority has this class selector, and then the highest priority of these three has this ID selector. But I really want to show you some more tips and some more different ways to style your elements. So, for example, if you want to say more specifically that you want to style, let's say, this element here. So you want to style your paragraph element, and this one here, this one that has this info class, and you want to do that in a more specific manner than just writing the name of your class. You can say, for example, I want to style P element that has class info, like this. And then in this particular situation, this has priority over this, because this is really more specific than this here. So here you say, please give me any element that has this info class, and then here you say, please give me P element that has info class, or all P elements that have this info class. And then here, for example, if I say background color like this, and let's say that here I want to specify, for example, this yellow green, so this greenish color. Previously we had this blue color, so this light blue color on our info element, and now we have specified background color, which is this one here, so this greenish color. And now if I refresh my document, as you can see, our info message now has this light green background color, because this here has a higher priority than this here. And if you want to specify even higher priority than this one, you can use, for example, nesting. So you can say, I'm going to copy this and paste it here. And instead of saying, please give me all the elements that have this info class and that are P elements, so that are paragraphs, you can say, for example, body here. So this would mean, please give me all the elements that have this info class that are of type P and that are child of this body element, which means that are inside this body element. And if I specify here, for example, even another color, so I say silver, and then I save this, and then I come here and refresh it, you can see that this info message has gotten this silver background color. Why has that happened? Well, because this has even higher priority than this one here, meaning that the more specific that you are when you are specifying your styles and selecting your element, that is going to have higher priority. So that is going to be of a higher priority than when you specify a more general rule. So one more time, we have talked about different types of selectors. The first one that we have mentioned was our P selector, which is our element selector, and we said that this one has the lowest priority. So element selectors have the lowest priority because they are general, they are very, very general. After that, we have talked about these class selectors, which you use really with this dot notation. So you say dot and then the name of your class, and how you use these on your tags. You say class and then you specify the name of your class, and then here, whatever you put in your class, that is going to override your element selector. And after that, so after your class selector, the priority has this ID selector. So how you use these ID selectors, you say hashtag and then the name of your element, so the ID of your element, which you specify using this ID property, so this ID attribute on your start tag. And then you really write the styles inside these curly brackets, and those styles are going to override whatever you have put in your styles that you have written in your class selector. And then here we have specified a couple more ways that you can style your elements with. And those are very specific situations where you want to style an element that, for example, has both a class and also you want to specify the name of that element, so the type of that element. And here we have as well specified the way for you to select nested elements on a specific way. So you can write the name of the class or ID that that element has, and then the name of that element itself, so the tag that you have used, which is in this particular situation p tag, and then here you specify the name of the parent of that element. And this nesting can go really however deep you need it, so you can have here even more classes, even more children if you need that. So that was something that I wanted to show you in this video, and I hope that you understood these examples, and I hope that you understood different types of selectors. If you have any questions, write those in the comments down below and I'm going to answer those. And also make sure to subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon and like this video if you learned something new, and follow me on my other social media. The link for those is going to be in the description of my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye.